Hello gamers, and welcome to my movement guide for Phantom Forces. This will cover a lot of simple and more difficult techniques in Phantom Forces for movement. Keep in mind that there are a ton of different movement techniques, but this will cover a big portion of them. Two things you will need to know before you start using these movement techniques. First off, if you find that you're not moving as fast as other people, it's probably just FOV. I'm on 105 FOV when you're watching this video, which means that I look like I'm going faster than somebody at like 60 FOV. Also, if you want to see how fast something will move, go up here to the top right, click advance and scroll down, and right here it has weapon walk speed and aiming walk speed. On melees it will just have the walk speed. Aiming walk speed means how fast you will move when you are aiming down sights. Let's first go over the basics. WASD to move, that's very simple. Shift to sprint, you guys already know this, and make sure to press C every once in a while and then immediately press shift again, so that way you're sliding. And if you don't want to know how to M slide, which I will teach you later in this video, then sliding normally is almost as good. Vaulting is kind of slow, but if you slide and then vault, then you will actually vault a bit faster. If there's a lower railing, for example here, as you can see, as I'm going out of the slide, if I vault, I will vault a lot faster than if I were to just normally vault. That's pretty helpful because on lower barriers, it can increase your speed by quite a bit, and it can make you vault a lot faster, which means that you're not actually shooting your gun up in the air for as long, and you'll probably win more fights that way. Next up is super jumping. If you press X, nothing will happen. It will put you down into crouch. It will not actually put you in prone like C will. Now, if you sprint and then press X, you will actually do a little bit of a dolphin dive. This does not throw you that far. However, if you press X and space at the exact same time, it will do this. It's kind of space first, you jump and then press X, but it's in quick succession. So space and then X immediately. While you're sprinting, you do this and you go a lot farther. But you will notice from this that I'm ending up in prone, and you probably don't want to end up in prone because then you have to get out of prone to start sprinting again. However, if you aim down sights mid jump, as you can see, I'm just sprinting again. So press space and X and then right click. That's all you need to do. Sprint, space, X, and right click. Now, what you will notice is you can't do that with a melee. If I want to super jump with a melee, I can't cancel it at all. If you're trying to get to somebody who's up in the air and you want to do that super jump, the full thing with the cancel, you can do this and maybe get them that way. But keep in mind that you do have a bit of a delay. That does depend on how big of a gun and how big of a melee you have. Now, another movement technique is, as you can see, a frag goes pretty far. It goes to like there. If I super jump it, it will go a lot farther. So basically what you got to do is super jump, as I stated before. However, do it as you're throwing the frag grenade and it will go a ton farther. Another thing you can do is you can actually vault off of the corners of things. It will happen randomly, but if you're able to do it on certain corners, you can use it to get a boost. Is it really necessary? Probably not, but as you can see there, I got it. Is it that big of a deal? Nah, the spacing is too much. You barely get any speed from it. And you can do something just as good called M sliding constantly without having to hit any corners. You can use the vaulting thing if you want to, but I don't really recommend it. Before I explain M sliding, I'm going to talk about something really simple. Boom, you actually get an M slide. Basically, this is an M slide or the other type of slide. I don't remember what it's called. I heard it was called a mud slide, but apparently that's wrong or something. I don't know. Basically, all you got to do to hit that is do a normal slide and then press shift when you hit the ground, and you have to do it pretty well. But if you fall from any height, depending on the height, it will throw you a lot farther. So as you can see from there, it's pretty far. But if I do it from up here, as you can see, I get a pretty big boost, not gonna lie. I don't really use this or practice it too often, but the speed boost does depend on how well you do it. So maybe try like getting it correct, because you can get a bit of a speed boost. If you're gonna fall off an object anyway, you may as well try to get a speed boost from it. The next thing is the most complicated but actually very, very helpful feature known as M sliding. M sliding basically just increases your speed. If I were to walk from here to here, 1, 2, about 2.5, and then with M sliding, 1, 2. So basically you can actually increase your speed by probably like 20-30%, quite a bit. And if you watch any of my videos, I do this constantly because it is just so convenient. You basically just do it one time, figure out how to do it, and it becomes second nature. But getting it down at first is very, very difficult. So basically what you're going to want to do is press C and then space, and in very, very quick succession. So C space, that is making me slide. I'm sliding, but I'm still standing up. So basically practice this, C space. So C and then space, but very, very fast. Just do this for a while. C space, C space. And then for the second part, you're going to press C space and then shift. C space, wait a little bit, and then space, shift. C space, space, shift. As you can see, I'm now moving a lot faster. C space, space, shift. C space, space, shift. If you're not getting this down at first, it's completely fine, but you will start to get it down in about like a few minutes. Just keep trying it. C space, space, shift, do that. And then C space, space shift. The next thing is kind of not that helpful, but it can be pretty cool. It's basically, I don't remember what people called it. I just call it like fast climbing. You walk up to here and you look down. And as you can see, I'm actually going up pretty fast. Basically, you got to jump this. You can do it a little bit faster using some techniques, but it's pretty fast overall. As you can see, this is normal, pretty slow. And then you do it this way, and it's a lot faster. It only seems to work really well on slanted ladders, so Desert Storm is really good for it. And you can get it to be pretty fast to actually like fly yourself up in the air. If you get the angle correct, you can actually do it a lot faster, as you can see. And as you can see, the angle doesn't really matter as much as you think, but there is kind of a perfect angle for it. If you're doing straight down, you can do it pretty fast. Let's be real, when you're doing this, you're probably gonna just get shot anyway. And keep in mind, this doesn't work on most ladders in the game, only these slanted ladders for some reason. So yeah, you can use that to get up buildings a little bit faster. Another thing is really helpful as well on Desert Storm. Yeah, you can do that. Keep in mind, you can super jump into these windows, but it has to be pretty well timed. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe practice your super jumps into here. As you can see, I didn't do it there. You have to really get the height correct. Another thing you can do here is you can actually super jump after you get out of here. This can be really, really helpful if you do it correctly. Basically, you have to vault and then do a perfect super jump afterwards. You might be able to get up to here if you do it. I can't remember how to do it. I don't remember how to do it. Oh, there we go. This will take some serious practice, to be completely honest. Like this building here, you can just go on here and then go on here, and that does take a while. You can also just super jump up here, but you know what? That is a cool movement technique. Finish your vault and there we go. So don't do it immediately. Basically, you gotta wait like half a second, probably like that, and then you got it. Okay. Yeah, so don't do it immediately. Wait for the vaulting animation to end, but if you wait too long, that happens. Pretty interesting, not gonna lie. I don't feel like this is super crazy good. Another thing is if you hit certain objects falling really fast, you can survive fall damage. This is kind of random chance. I feel like it's happened to most people where you kind of just bounce when you hit the ground, but it does work by hitting pretty skinny objects or the sides of objects. So basically, if you see something on the ground that's kind of skinny or you want to hit the side, keep in mind, this is probably not going to be that helpful at all. You might be able to survive fall damage one time. Like this railing, you could probably survive fall damage if you hit it correctly, but obviously it's not going to be that helpful because it's up here already. Something that I find to be a bit more effective and actually way more consistent is if you got this ladder here. This is just one of them on the specific map. As you can see, negated all fall damage because hitting a ladder will make you negate fall damage. This is really helpful on specific maps. For example, this particular jump is really helpful for me. Boom, you just negate all fall damage except there. Metro, pretty cool map, right? You like this map, but you can use these with the good old slide vaulting trick to quickly get across the map without even having to get in the way of these ones. And keep in mind, if you do these the full way, you can kind of get stuck. Generally not, though. You can go through the entire thing, but you're like, oh, I got to super jump up here. No, you don't even have to super jump up here. You got to wait for the cooldown if you super jump there. Kind of annoying. However, if you M slide perfectly, as you can see, I can just go all the way up. It's great. It's so nice to be able to do this because I can get on top of these without actually having to have this incredibly long cooldown. Obviously, you can just cancel, but you waste your super jump with that. If you M slide up certain objects, you can get some crazy momentum kind of here. Yeah, as you can see, I can get some pretty crazy momentum using M slides up here. You'd probably normally just do this. Kind of slow, but you do that, you get some pretty crazy momentum. So on these stairs, as you can see, I'm going up pretty slow. I'm getting kind of stuck. And if you slide on these, you actually go like up. It's so weird. However, if I M slide it, as you can see, I'm getting some pretty crazy speed up these stairs, and I can kind of skip that delay. But look at this, dude. I'm telling you right now, M sliding is not even that difficult to get down, and once you get it down, it is so helpful to use it. I recommend 100% you try to learn how to use it. But yeah, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, that is the movement guide for Phantom Forces. I might make an updated one if I come up with more common movement techniques that are pretty helpful. Techniques would be too bad. As you can see, I'm using that, and then I'm M sliding, and then I'm super jumping over here. You're always using this. I'm vaulting here, slide vaulting here. Like, you're using most of these techniques on a regular basis, so you're probably going to want to use all these techniques, so you will be harder to hit, you'll move faster, you'll get more kills. But anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and sub, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.